unfair process over disagreements regarding his legal representation.
High Court proceedings in Kampala before Justice Emmanuel Baguma ground to a sudden halt after the veteran politician who had been shouting at the top of his voice suddenly collapsed in the dock, shocking onlookers, court officials and prison officers.
Abuse of the Constitution should stop. Stop, 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 stop. Stop, 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 stop. Stop, 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 stop.
The dramatic turn of events came shortly after the prosecution introduced its first witness, British-American Andy Wilson Orlando, who is expected to testify in support of the treason charges against Besigye.
We cannot continue without representation. It's simply criminal. It's not going to happen.
Earlier, in an address to court, Besigye strongly opposed the commencement of the trial, arguing that he had not consented to being represented by lawyers appointed by the state after his personal legal team withdrew from the case, citing intimidation and concerns over their safety. Justice Baguma, however, ruled that Besigye had been given sufficient time to consult with his newly appointed lawyers. He further noted that although Justice Simon Peter Chinobe is still considering an application concerning the issue of legal representation, the trial would proceed with the court prepared to comply with any orders arising from Justice Chinobe's ruling. In proceedings where media coverage was restricted, the state-appointed lawyers appeared before the court for the first time, while assessors were sworn in amid protests from the accused persons. Although Captain Dennis Ola informed the court that he had accepted representation by the state-appointed lawyers, including Sarah Awero, Julia Serangala and Sylvia Namaweje, Besigye and Obeid Lutale maintained that they were still assessing the list of more than 700 lawyers provided to them and had only managed to shortlist about 200.
But nothing to do with the cases they have handled that will guide us as to their competencies relevant to our case. Of these three, indeed, it was Honorable Sylvia Namaweje whose CV touches on that.
They argued that the lawyers assigned to them lacked the credentials and track record of handling cases of a similar nature. Following Besigye's collapse, Lulume Waiga and Nicholas Kamara engaged in a brief standoff with prison officials as they sought permission to access Besigye and administer first aid. Their request was denied. After the proceedings were summarily adjourned, 2 ambulances arrived at the High Court premises before Besigye was whisked away. Besigye, who is facing treason charges, has largely represented himself since his lawyers stopped appearing in court, citing intimidation. They referenced the arrest of lead counsel Elias Lukwago and the blocking of Martha Karua from entering Uganda as evidence of an environment they considered hostile to the defense.
Now, the Electoral Commission chairperson, Justice Simon Byabakama, has announced that repeat LC1 elections will be held on the 1st of August, a Saturday, in 135 villages where Tuesday's elections were disrupted. The Commission has also warned that presiding officers who abandoned polling stations before the electoral process was concluded will face disciplinary action once investigations confirm the allegations. The Electoral Commission has appealed to the public to remain calm as it investigates all complaints arising from the village elections.
As Ugandans continue to react to Tuesday's LC1 village chairperson elections, with some celebrating victory and others returning to the polls today, the Electoral Commission has issued fresh guidelines for areas where the electoral process was disrupted.
Thursday, 30th July, which is tomorrow, the process of registering residents will take place, and the display of the registers will be conducted on the 31st of July, so that polling takes place on a Saturday, the 1st of August 2026.
Justice Simon Byabakama said elections were successfully conducted in 700,077 villages, representing 98.4% of all villages across the country. However, 135 villages, representing 1.6%, failed to complete the exercise after incidents including violence, ballot paper destruction, tearing up of voter registers, and cases where some candidates who had been disqualified still attempted to participate in the elections.
Chaos and violence, destruction of polling materials, particularly the village registers, results where the candidates tied, disputes about the voters' registers, or death of nominated candidates, among others. In some villages, persons whose names did not appear in the village residence register presented their national IDs and demanded to be allowed to vote.
Byabakama said the Commission has received several complaints, but is first prioritizing villages where elections did not take place. In villages where elections failed because voter registers were destroyed, fresh voter registration will be conducted on Thursday, July 30th. The new voter registers will be displayed and verified on Friday 31st, with the campaigns also taking place on the same day. Residents in those villages will then vote on Saturday, August 1st. The Commission added that villages where elections did not take place but the voter registers remain intact will also vote on August 1st without conducting fresh registration. For villages where elections were halted because candidates had been disqualified, there will be no fresh voter registration. Instead, the affected areas will proceed directly to repeat voting on Saturday.
In villages where polling could not take place due to chaos, violence and disruption, but the register is intact and have not voted today, polling will also take place on Saturday, 1st of August 2026. Now, for those villages where one candidate passed on, but there are other candidates who are nominated, the candidates will remain in the race. They don't have to be nominated again.
The EC chairperson appealed for calm in areas where election results have been disputed, saying the Commission will thoroughly investigate all complaints before reaching any conclusions.
Now, let's take a look at your opinion question, your feedback on opinion question. And the question which would like you to share your opinions with us is the Electoral Commission is set to conduct fresh LC1 elections in areas where Tuesday's polls were cancelled. What should be done to prevent a repeat of the chaos and disruptions that marred the earlier exercise? Let's bring some analysis onto that story. We're now joined by Professor Rogers Bargayomwe for analysis on that. Prof, many thanks for joining us this evening. You've just seen that the Electoral Commission is to conduct a repeat of some elections in 135 villages. 135, not one or two, but 135. Do you think the electoral body was prepared for these polls?
I think these LC elections were the most credible in the phases of elections we've had. Even though the Electoral Commission wasn't quite prepared because it was short notice, I think we saw that most of the areas people were voting by consensus, giving voting experienced people and not voting along party lines. So largely they were successful. And 139 in the very many villages in Uganda is a big percentage of success.
The elections are characterized by violence in some places, chaos, intimidation. There's even a death that occurred. Could this situation have been avoided if it weren't for lining up?
It's the best situation we've seen so far is lining up, because at least there is some level of respect of the citizens' choice. However, the few cases of intimidation were worse in the election where we saw people not lining up in secret ballots. So those isolated cases cannot take away the largely more credible, and actually I would say that most of the elections, even the presidential, should go at this level, because at least we saw some level of credibility.
Well, looking into reports of some missing names from the register, do you think that the Electoral Commission can do something better in the upcoming polls, the repeat ones in the 130 so villages?
Definitely so. I think the Electoral Commission should give itself more time so that they can allow many people, and they would even have been more mobile in registration, because these are villages. You could move to homes and try to capture as many people as possible. So the Electoral Commission, given a chance, can do a better job.
Okay, so you're saying that you are for lining up as opposed to secret ballot, right?
Yes, I would be.
But there are cases of, intimidation, tenants fearing to line up behind their landlords and all that. Do you think that we need to move to a next level where democracy can be this affordable?
True. If we had decent politicians and government was decent enough, of course, even these ones would be by secret ballot. They'll see one election. However, because we've seen the secret ballot being more abused, then one would say would rather have lining up where everyone is seeing what is happening than being cheated in the ballot box.
Well, you see people crossing from one line to another towards the end of the queue. I don't know how transparent that process can be, but it can also be quite confusing. In areas like Kampala, people are given voter slips to verify that they are on the register and therefore they should be in the queue. There's that confusion. Do you think it can be cleared before Saturday?
Definitely. Now, given that there are few stations left, so I think a lot of security can be deployed to these few which are remaining, so that the chaos can be minimized, and let there be less interference from the political players, and then we can have a more credible election in these remaining stations.
Prof, many thanks for speaking to us tonight. You're one of the few people that are lining up behind the lining up process of voting. Now let's take a look at your feedback on our opinion question.
Feedback brought to you by. In business, you need advice, solutions, and sector expertise when it matters.
Your new office space looks great. What's next?
We get it. Absa Business Banking.
Well, the question tonight, already put it out there, hashtag NBS Live at 9. The Electoral Commission is set to conduct fresh LC1 elections in areas where Tuesday's polls were cancelled. What should be done to prevent a repeat of the chaos and disruptions that marred the earlier exercise? Our first comment coming in from Modu Emmanuel says this goes down to every individual taking part in the electoral process. The candidates, voters and EC officials, the candidates must accept what comes out of the results. The voters must respect themselves, and the Electoral Commission officials must portray transparency in the whole exercise. Okay, Ngaberano Joseph Kasenen says the voters should respect themselves and the Electoral Commission officials should be transparent. All right. Derek M. Daima says, let security agencies provide ultimatum protection, and all voters should avoid chaos and observe the law, and exercise goes on smoothly. Again, let those who never registered in the village registration book not appear on the polling days because they also incite violence. NBS Live at 9 takes a break. We'll be back here with more stories making headlines tonight.
Every business begins with belief. The belief that tomorrow can be bigger than today. But waiting to be paid should never hold ambition back. With NCBA Working Capital Solutions, unpaid invoices become opportunity. Because some ambitions build more than businesses, they build futures. At NCBA, we bank on belief, empowering ambition with tailored financial solutions built around your business. Whatever your next move, we are here to help you grow. Access unsecured loans of up to 500 million Uganda shillings plus 6 months of free banking. Ku NCBA Bank, Chigwa Kuwerere. Visit any NCBA Bank branch today and unlock the momentum your business deserves.
NCBA Bank. Go for it.
Hello, Mr. Mukasa.
Hello, how are you?
I'm okay, sir. Are you the broker?
The original one.
I was told you have very good rentals.
That is right. How many bedrooms do you want?
I want 3 bedrooms.
Okay, did I tell you of the price?
Yes, of course. 500,000.
No. This side, the salary went a bit high.
Why?
Because the paint we use is of good quality. So the place gained the value.
Which paint?
Global Paint.
How?
For the ceiling, for us we use Global Mat. And for the inside walls, we use Global Silk Vinyl.
Okay, tell me about the outside walls.
Outside we use Global Weather Coat Emulsion so that the walls don't peel.
I'm really impressed. The precision you put while painting, I'm willing to pay any amount.
That is true, because here for us quality is paramount and the place becomes humidity.
Global Paint, a reliable product.
Why pay for someone else's repairs? Say goodbye to hidden costs and hello to peace of mind of a brand new start. Discover the Suzuki range of unmatched, fuel-efficient and reliable options. From the iconic Jimny to the new Across Hybrid. Find the perfect blend of style and world-class efficiency. Upgrade today and enjoy 1 year of free fuel and comprehensive insurance, plus 2 years of free service and a 3-year warranty. Trade in your current car or choose financing to start driving as you pay installments. Don't wait. Visit the Suzuki showroom today or call 0800-211-033 to get started.
Uganda, are you ready for the biggest honey show in Africa? This August, Tunado welcomes the world to the 4th Africa Apimondia Symposium and Exhibition featuring honey show, apiculture, learning sessions, and business networking opportunities under the theme Beekeeping for Business and Livelihoods. Come join apiculture leaders, researchers, processors, investors, and food systems practitioners from across Africa and beyond. Come and be part of this historic gathering from the 25th to the 28th of August 2026 at Hotel Africana, Kampala. The 4th Africa Apimondia Symposium and Honey Show is organized by Tunado in partnership with Come, Network, Learn, Grow.
Before the medal, before the success, there are mornings no one sees. Days you carry alone. Days the doors won't stay open. Days you need more than you have. Fighting for something bigger than yourself. In those moments, it is the people that show up for us. A hand, a loan, a door that stays open. A silent push to get you moving again. The ones you don't see fighting for you while you're fighting for yourself. That's what it means to have someone on your side. I&M Bank, on your side.
Let's talk accountability. It is the Committee of Parliament that is in charge of fiscal infrastructure that has begun preparations that is for an inquiry into Pinnacle Security Limited and Aegis Road Operations SA. The company is responsible for collecting of road toll fees on Entebbe Expressway. Led by their chairperson, Winnie Parker, members of Parliament made an impromptu visit to the firm's offices demanding documents on toll revenue collection, saying the records will form a key part of investigations scheduled to commence next week.
Unannounced inspections are increasingly becoming a preferred oversight tool to assess how government agencies and contractors contracted companies execute their mandates while probing possible corruption and financial management. This time, Parliament's Committee on Physical Infrastructure made an impromptu visit to the Kajansi offices of Pinnacle Security Limited, the company subcontracted by Aegis Road Operation SA to collect toll fees on the Entebbe Expressway. Led by Committee Chairperson Mwine Mpaka, the legislators proceeded directly to the auditor's office, where they demanded traffic records and audited financial statements covering the last 5 years.
Yes, if you need to take the information, the request has to come through and I give it to you, sir. Not through my staff.
The inspection briefly stalled when the project's head, Ivan Katamba, objected, arguing that the committee had not given prior notice of its visit and urging MPs to suspend the exercise. However, Mpaka maintained that Parliament has the legal authority to access any office and any documents required in the execution of its oversight mandate, warning against any attempts to obstruct the inspection. Mpaka even briefly ordered Katamba's arrest before the standoff was resolved.
Stella, close your... You will take all the information you need. I will give it to you. I will collaborate as soon as you collaborate.
CID and the security kindly escort the gentleman. We must complete this investigation.
Stella, please, everyone, I will request.
Katamba later instructed staff to release documents he had initially withheld and committed to submitting the remaining records requested by the committee. Among the documents sought are records showing the number of vehicles using the expressway, toll revenue collected, and other operational reports.
We are looking out for leakages. If there's any leakage in the finances, the money they are collecting versus what they are depositing, we are looking out for that leakage. That's what we are doing today.
Aegis Road Operation SA holds the concession to manage toll collections on the Entebbe Expressway and subcontracted Pinnacle Security Limited to undertake the day-to-day collection of toll fees. The committee, however, says it wants to verify how much revenue has been collected on behalf of the government over the past 5 years and whether the funds were deposited into the designated government accounts.
We have taken the audited books of accounts. There are collections that they are collecting per month. We have also taken details of the number of vehicles that go through the system.
Legislators argue that the substantial public investment into the toll collection system warrants a thorough assessment to determine whether the companies are delivering value for money and operating transparently. Committee members also identified gaps in the records obtained during the visit, including missing toll revenue figures for 2 months.
The road, basically, we all need this road. But this is a road we must pay for. So we want to establish, even before we set up other road tolls, are there any challenges we should be prepared for?
To give Ugandans the assurance of what is happening here. Are there problems with the system?
Formal hearings are expected to begin next week as the committee investigates the operations of the companies responsible for collecting toll fees from motorists using Entebbe Expressway. The inquiry comes after the government recently extended the company's toll collection contract by 1 year, allowing them to continue operating until next year. The Entebbe Expressway was completed and opened to the public in 2018, while toll collection commenced in 2022.
The Parliamentary Committee on Human Rights on Wednesday expelled the chairperson of the Human Rights Commission, and that is Justice Mariam Wangadia, for appearing before it without her fellow commissioners. Wangadia told the committee that she had notified all the commissioners to attend, but, and that's the huge but, they declined. She said their refusal does reflect indiscipline and is part of the reason the Commission's work has been paralyzed.
The chairperson of the Uganda Human Rights Commission, Justice Mariam Wangadia, appeared before the Parliamentary Committee on Human Rights on Wednesday to explain how the Commission has been running its operations in recent days.
Straight from the onset, I find a technicality.
However, she found it difficult to answer members' questions regarding a letter she wrote to the President, resigning as chairperson of the Commission.
And I understand that the chairperson of the Uganda Human Rights Commission tendered in a notice of resignation. And my question to her is, since the time of tendering in that resignation, does she consider herself still as the chairperson of the Commission?
Wangadia was also asked why she had appeared before the committee alone, given that the work of the Commission affects all commissioners.
Explain why we cannot have commissioners. Because
why we can't have a commission?
Yes.
Who are these commissioners? Did they give you a written statement that they will not attend? Please, let's have direct answers to the questions you're being asked.
Were the rest of the commissioners made aware of parliamentary invitation? Are they aware that they were invited?
The members of the commission are not here.
In response, Wangadia told the MPs that she had notified all commissioners to attend the meeting, but they refused, adding it to one of the reasons why the operations of the Commission have been paralyzed.
There is no way to sugarcoat this.
Absolutely.
There has been a rebellion.
A rebellion?
A rebellion at the Commission. It has, for a long time, it has escalated. It escalated in the media spaces, including social media. It escalated to this parliament.
We wrote to you, we communicated, and we gave you time to come and face this committee.
The committee was not satisfied with her explanation and ordered her to leave and return with all the commissioners.
Under the circumstances, I think it is better that we honorably request that you take leave of this committee, and tomorrow at 10 we expect that the chairperson and the commission.
MPs said the committee can only proceed to examine matters concerning the management of the commission when the entire leadership is present.
We shall still stay on parliamentary committees this time round, moving to the leadership of the Parliamentary Committee on Commissions, Statutory Authorities and State Enterprises that has directed CID of Parliament to urgently inspect the controversial NSSF land at Temangalo to guide the committee on the next course of action. This does come after the committee found out that the vendor of the said land, One City tycoon Amos Nzei, had spent now 18 years to provide the entity with an alternative accepted land. Appearing before the committee to respond to the queries raised in the Auditor General's report for the financial year 24 to 26, the officials from NSSF confirmed to the committee chaired by MP Mwadanku Nyingi that currently the pieces of land being offered by Nzei are not acceptable. That means unacceptable because they are occupied by squatters, which defeats the purpose of replacement.
This is land which was purchased almost 18 years ago. No investment. This is money which belongs to the public. So is this your method of operation?
Was due diligence carried out on the Temangalo land? If yes, what guided the fund to enter into that transaction?
We may be, and we may actually need to visit some of these properties, because
in about 2008 or thereby, there was an MOU where Mr. Nzei was supposed actually to compensate NSSF with another piece of land, about 104 acres plus. It's now 18 years, and this whole process has been stalled.
And we assume that for matters of Kajansi, Temangalo, you have somewhere where you benefit so that you frustrate the deal to benefit you as insiders.
Honorable, by who you are pointing at? Who?
The whole bench.
The whole of them.
The whole bench,
okay.
Because they are here for purpose.
Okay, they will respond.
We own the title, the entire title, including where Zay's house is in the name of the fund. After transfers, that's when he wanted to keep the house, but the condition was, which goes to a question that I believe one of the honorable raised, that land in Namungwana is a different piece of land. No, there are three conditions. The land had to be adjacent to our land, it had to be squatter-free, and be suitable for what we wanted to do. Those were the three conditions. And all the swaps he has attempted, none of the pieces he has offered meets all the three criteria. That's why it has taken that long.
And your colleagues are having different answers to the same question. Maybe we shall have to ascertain on the ground.
More to come. Brought to you by
Global Paint. How? For the seating. For us, we use Global Mat.
Global Paint, a reliable product.
Access unsecured loans of up to 500 million Uganda shillings plus 6 months of free banking. Ko NCBA Bank. Chigwa kuwerere. Visit any NCBA Bank branch today and unlock the momentum your business deserves.
NCBA Bank. Go for it.
Government is deliberately working on the candidature of Ambassador Laro Tuno, and that program has definitely been unveiled. And yes, it is our intention as Ugandans that he does get a top job at the United Nations. And to be honest with you, it is about time that the Secretary General of the United Nations spoke English that most of the world does understand. I hope that makes sense this evening. Shall we go for a break then?
In the heart of comfort and class, where every arrival feels like a welcome home. Experience spaces designed for rest, where elegance meets relaxation in every detail. Stay energized, stay inspired with wellness tailored to your lifestyle. For business that matters, find spaces built for productivity, connection, and success. Indulge in flavors that bring people together, from casual moments to refined dining. Celebrate life's milestone in spaces designed to make every moment unforgettable. Sorova Putiko Hotel, where business meets comfort and every stay becomes an experience.
Uganda is moving forward. And at the heart of that movement is the most extensive fiber network in East Africa, with more than 15,000 kilometers of fiber and over 5,000 telecom mast sites. Soliton Telmec is the backbone that enables Uganda's telecom and digital infrastructure, connecting government services, businesses, homes, universities, hospitals, banks, villages, and telecom masts. We don't just build networks, we maintain and commercialize critical infrastructure that supports national development. East Africa's leading fiber company, connecting Uganda with the most capacity. Soliton Telmec, building networks for life.
Searching for the right investment destination, Kabalega Petro-based Industrial Park is now open for business in Hoima, Uganda. Over 221 plots measuring 536 acres are available for petrochemicals, agro-processing, manufacturing, industrial services, logistics, warehousing, ICT, hospitality, commercial and residential. Don't let this opportunity pass you. Visit the KIP investor portal at kip.unoc.com. Discover the various investment opportunities and project updates. Create an account and book a site visit at KIP. Kabalega Petro-based Industrial Park is open for business. Invest in KIP. Invest in Uganda.
You need a bigger space to grow your business. You need
to be ready for any season.
We need to stop here before we roll.
You need faster checkouts for these busy days.
In business, you need advice, solutions, and sector expertise when it matters.
Your new office space looks great. What's next?
We get it. Have some business banking.
You wanna make tasty food and sing. You wanna do that dancing still. Candaling one no ya night. Sika de buto one night. Nailo akro ya sing. Sika de buto one night. Candaling one no ya night.
Cook better, sell better with modern healthy cholesterol-free cooking oil and modern non-sticky wheat flour. Modern Yenyabo.
We don't need anyone's permission to move forward. What we need is the power to do it our way. Spiro is not your typical EV company. It's the power grid for African ambition. A network that connects Nairobi to Kigali, Lagos to Lomé, Dar to Kampala. Not with cables and wires, but with clean, quiet, relentless movement. This is Africa, powered by us.
The problem is the foundation.
Do you know the kind of cement I'm using in this foundation? I guarantee you even my grandchildren will come and find this house.
You buy your buy today and get the job done. Strong, reliable, available at hardware shops countrywide.
Welcome back. You're still tuned into NBS Live at 9. And now, Uganda has officially unveiled and endorsed Ambassador Olara Otunu's bid to become the next United Nations Secretary General when Antonio Guterres leaves office. Speaking at a press conference at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Permanent Secretary Vincent Waiswa-Bajire said Otunu's extensive experience within the United Nations system makes him a strong candidate to lead the global body. Otunu, who served as UN Under-Secretary General and Special Representative for Children and Armed Conflict, said he has developed a 10-point action plan that would implement if elected Secretary General.
Government has officially unveiled Olara Otunu as Uganda's candidate for the position of the United Nations Secretary General. Vincent Waiswa-Bajire, the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, said Otunu's long-serving life, both at the local and international stage, sets him apart from other candidates.
And our own Ambassador Olara Otunu of Uganda, nominated on the 24th July 2026.
Speaking of his candidature, Olara Otunu said this is not just about him, but the entire nation of Uganda. Otunu said that his candidature comes at a moment of great upheaval and dislocation, and a time when drones and artificial intelligence might evolve to dominate the human race, and therefore an opportunity to reinvent the organization.
To immediately convene, begin discussion that brings the private sector, member states, scientists and the creators together to come up with a regime, a mechanism, standard, rules, values that will govern the development and deployment of artificial intelligence.
Otunu served as Uganda's ambassador and permanent representative to the United Nations between 1980 to 1985 and as the president of the United Nations Security Council in December 1981. Otunu is widely praised for his initiative to introduce the straw balloting system that is widely known as the Otunu formula that has guided the election of the Secretary General since then. It is against this background that Otunu says the United Nations can benefit from his knowledge.
That those would be top of my agenda to see what the Secretary General of the UN can do, working with the major stakeholders, the big powers who are implicated in these conflicts, to end those conflicts.
Government is ready to support Uganda's candidate in the quest to be the next SG for the UN and is committed to ensure that in the near future he will be in New York to meet the right delegates.
And we are making arrangements to see to it that first of all, he gets his engagement with the president of the UN Security Council as well as the president of the General Assembly as fast as possible, because the other candidates have indeed already appeared before them.
The position of United Nations Secretary General will fall vacant on 31st December 2026 after the tenure of Antonio Guterres comes to an end.
Now, staying with Olara Otunu, mixed reactions have emerged from the Acholi community following the government's nomination and unveiling of Ambassador Olara Otunu as Uganda's candidate for the position of United Nations Secretary General. While many believe Otunu has the experience and credentials to lead the global body, some have questioned the government's intentions, citing concerns over the timing of the nomination and whether there is enough commitment to actively support his candidature.
If that is not devoted to the people, that has no fidelity to the people.
Many in Acholi and northern Uganda received the unveiling and nomination of their son of the soil, Olara Otunu, with mixed reactions. To some, whereas Olara is qualified, they question the timing.
In terms of credibility, experience, and as our leader, as our father, we believe he would make a good case for the leadership of the United Nations.
But I think it boils down to one fact in the stature, sort of like the institutional knowledge and experience of over 4 decades in the UN system. When you look around, then you find that you don't find any Ugandan who nearly matches his stature.
He has the strength, he has the knowledge, he has the experience, he has the exposure. So working as the new secretary for United Nations will not come for him as a new assignment, but will come for him as an additional work to do, because he has worked there before. He knows what it takes to build this nation.
From the past experience, many are skeptical, wondering whether it's just not another way of the president to wow key opposition political faces to work with him, describing the nomination as surprising.
Could be a whitewash. The president is just trying to repaint a dirty wall. He's just trying to show gestures that not the way people have said, not the way people have been thinking, not the way you judge me. I don't hate you. I am good to you, except that I had choices. It has reached this.
The relationship has turned from that which seemed to be hostile in the beginnings. We've now seen them quite working well and constructively engaging and re-engaging one another. So that is something that we are watching.
MPs from the region say government must do more than just nomination to shed off doubts on the intention and wish behind Ambassador Olara Otunu nomination.
The President, Yoweri Museveni, should send someone, a team, an envoy to the UN offices to talk more about Ambassador Olara Otunu. Because you may endorse. After endorsing, what next?
I think and pray that the president means well. Given the credibility, the credentials that Olara Otunu holds, I think it is, in my own opinion, I think it is genuine. If you look at Uganda at large, the caliber of the Olara Otunu are hard to come by.
Spice up your breakfast with Prestige margarine, easy to spread and fortified with vitamins A, D, and E in the original and vanilla flavor, turning everyday moments into quiet indulgence. And now, a delightful new experience unfolds. Introducing Prestige Fruity, a luscious fusion of creamy spread and strawberry flavor, bringing everything you love into one simple, delicious layer. No extra spreads, just pure fruity satisfaction in every bite. Prestige margarine, sprayed it, taste it, love it. Available in all shops and supermarkets nationwide. Distributed by Chapa General Enterprises, located at shop number 3, Rafik Building, Chikuwa, Kampala.
Start something new, something uplifting, something so effortless and golden. A thirst-quenching burst of sweetness and malty flavor, so rich and full of memories. It's 100% taste, zero alcohol. Try it, savor it, feel it elevate every moment. Sip after sip, gulp after gulp. After all, life's about turning ordinary thrills into golden chills.
Start something malty with the new Evervest Malt Apple and Pineapple. Try the burst of sweetness and malty flavor. It's 100% taste, zero alcohol. Available in a shop or supermarket near you. Evervest Malt. Make every moment golden. Evervest Malt is from the makers of PepsiCo.
Feeling stressed, tired, or simply in need of a break? Take time for yourself at Karibu Massage Parlor, located at Mbale Resort Hotel. Whether you're looking to ease muscle tension, recover from a busy week, or simply relax, our professional therapists are here to help. Choose from a range of treatments including full body massage, deep tissue massage, aromatherapy, hot stone massage, back, neck and shoulder massage, chair massage, and many more. Enjoy every treatment in a calm, comfortable environment designed to help you unwind, recharge, and feel your best. Relax your body, refresh your mind, restore your energy. Karibu Massage Parlor at Mbala Resort Hotel. Book your appointment today and experience true relaxation.
MTN voice bundle. Load. Hey. Hello, Mama. Hey, it is me, your son, Opio. Hey, now, Mama, listen to me. MTN has the offer. Yes, it has the offer. You load from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Now, they have free MTN to MTN minutes. And those minutes are there all day. So you load, you'll thank me later.
Load an MTN voice bundle between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. and get 3 free MTN to MTN minutes valid all day. Dial *100 *21# and get your free minutes bully daily. Free your fire with free minutes from MTN. Together, our connection is unstoppable. MTN.
Leaders from Moyo, Adjumani and Obongi districts are seeking a separate Patriotic League of Uganda leadership structure for the Madi sub-region. But the PLU's leadership says it will maintain the existing West Nile regional structure. The call was made during a consultative meeting between the PLU Secretary General Twala Fadil, Henry Bazaliza, the Deputy Director, Mobilization and political leaders, elders and cultural leaders from the 3 districts at the PLU headquarters in Naguru, Kampala.
The demand comes at a time when political activity is intensifying in Adjumani West constituency following the death of former area member of parliament, retired General Moses Ali, with several individuals already expressing interest in filling the vacant seat. So far, 8 people are reportedly eyeing the Adjumani West constituency parliamentary seat, triggering renewed political mobilization and interest in the area. The leaders argued that the West Nile sub-region is geographically vast, making it difficult to effectively coordinate mobilization and PLU activities under a single leadership structure.
So the request of the people of Madi sub-region that we need our own sub-region to be recognized in PLU office, it is the cry of the community.
So we are there observing we need a replacement of general to surface in this country. Because we need the development that has been front to continue going.
That was when Moyo district was created in 1956. That explains why. As we are entering the parliament, at the gate of the parliament, Madi emblem stands there, the cock.
The said establishment, a separate PLU structure for the Madi sub-region comprising Moyo, Adjumani and Obongi districts, would bring leadership closer to the people, improve service delivery and enhance mobilization and coordination.
Mr. General Secretary, I would love to beg the office of the PLU to go and unify the people of Adjumani.
We need a peaceful environment this time. Last election was chaotic. We don't want to go through that. We shall appreciate the efforts of the mother party, the NRM, and PLU in walking us through the vision path of achieving this development.
Deputy Director of Mobilization, Henry Basaliza, said PLU would instead support efforts to have the Madi sub-region formally recognized as a separate administrative sub-region through a government policy process and parliamentary action.
Let me take a moment to honor one of Uganda's greatest patriots, the late General Moses.
However, the PLU Secretary General, Twal Fadil, said the organization would, for now, maintain the existing West Nile leadership structure.
You see, the people who are appointed by our chairman, I can't go against them. The structures we are forming, we are going to honor them. So I want to tell you, I just want to harmonize with your team from West Nile. We have seen you as a very instrumental person. We want to see how you can be part, and we move the organization.
Minister for Local Government Balam Bargahara and Minister of State Justin Namere spent the day in Masaka district assessing the implementation of government programs and inspecting key public projects. The ministers met district leaders over concerns about alleged loss of district assets to individuals before visiting health facilities and infrastructure projects to evaluate service delivery and identify challenges requiring government intervention.
During an assessment of government programs in the Greater Masaka region, the Minister for Local Government, Baram Barugahara, and his deputy met district leaders, technical staff, and other stakeholders to evaluate service delivery and identify key challenges. At the meeting, Masaka District Chairperson John Kakande said that although Masaka is the mother district of the 9 districts in the region, it has been left struggling after losing some of its assets, including land and buildings, while others were allegedly taken over by individuals.
So it has remained a very small portion. It had a lot of property, both outside the city and in the city. But we have got impositors, the people who come and impersonate.
Locals, the chairpersons, have complained about land grabbing. There are few rich people. One of them is called Chimera. Another one is called Biakatonda. They use guns and the soldiers. I want to ask them where they got those soldiers, because the CDF, General Kainerugaba, either the president or General Saleh, does not aid such activities. People should have a right to own their land.
Bukoto East MP Sarah Babidi Kitio also called on government to support efforts to recover the district's properties.
It's like when you go into land grabbing, these are NRM people. When you go into those people who are mistreating people in the villages and they are mistreating everybody, these are NRM people. So I'm glad that these ministers are coming up and they are trying to understand the problem. This time around, I think it will be sorted.
Concerns over the alleged diversion of district assets were among the issues that prompted the minister's visit. Ministers later visited Chamukaka Health Center 4, where patients complained of being charged for services that are meant to be provided free of charge. The inspection continued with visits to roads and other government infrastructure projects, as residents highlighted persistent challenges affecting service delivery.
Generally, this is the first district problem may live without any civil servant arrest or investigation. Unless
International agribusiness firm Avani Global Agri plans to invest a total of $30 million in Uganda's emerging medicinal crops sector after identifying the country as its preferred production and processing hub. Following a 4-year study across Africa and Asia, the company has already invested $5 million and intends to inject an additional $25 million into cultivation, processing and value addition.
The State House Investors Protection Unit headed by Colonel Edith Nakalema, Avani Global Agri Managing Partner Dr. Siva Mahesh Tangutoro said the company's investment in Nuer district will focus on the commercial production of medicinal crops, including rosemary and turmeric, targeting the global pharmaceutical, biotechnology and natural health products markets.
And our products are not a regular food crops or anything, rather a cash crops or cash-rich crops that can change the income of the farmers at a lower level. These are medicinal crops that actually goes for a pharma industry and a biotech industry.
Beyond cultivation, Dr. Tangutoro said Avani Global Agri plans to establish processing facilities in Uganda to boost value addition before export.
To be honest, not many countries have concentrated on medicinal crops, but it's time for Uganda, being such a wonderful place in terms of climate and in terms of soil that has Uganda. It is blessed, so it's time to reap in the benefits out of that.
Head of the State House Investors Protection Unit, Colonel Edith Nakalema, said Avani's investment highlights the commercial potential of medicinal crops that have received limited attention in Uganda despite their high export and health value. She said the State House Investors Protection Unit will work with relevant ministries, departments and agencies to facilitate the investment and ensure government processes do not delay its implementation.
They have started with crops that we had not so much paid attention to, because I have not yet, even from my colleagues from the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, they confessed that they hadn't paid much attention to rosemary plant and turmeric and tamarind. They have shown us what is happening, what they have already established in Noya, in northern Uganda, over 700 acres of rosemary plant and tamarind are doing wonders.
Let's get into matters region. Kenya's Director of Public Prosecutions has vowed to take stern action against individuals involved in acts of goonism and making inflammatory remarks, warning that no one will be spared. Speaking after the 38th meeting of the National Council on the Administration of Justice, the DPP, Renson Ingonga, said anyone found culpable will face the law. The warning does come as political tensions continue to rise in Kenya ahead of the 2027 general elections.
The battle for 2027 in Kenya is gaining momentum, and with it comes rhetoric that leaves the country's peace and security balancing on a thread. Goons reigning supreme at the behest of the political class. However, politicians, both from government and opposition alike, have now been put on notice. The Director of Public Prosecution, Renson Ingonga, has warned that politicians found sponsoring goons or making inflammatory statements will face criminal charges.
Anyone found culpable in goonism will be dealt with accordingly. This also applies to the issue of inflammatory statements.
This warning follows the National Integration Commission's list of shame of politicians who are accused of pursuing a divisive agenda.
The Commission, through its investigations and compliance department, is conducting independent investigations into utterances attributed by the following persons: His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, former Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya; Cabinet Secretary Honorable Aden Duale; Cabinet Secretary Honorable Geoffrey Ruku; His Excellency Paul Nyongesa Otoma, Governor, Busia County.
The list of 10 has seen NCIC summon the politicians to appear before the commission for question. Their summon has, however, been met with total defiance.
Sisi tunatumia figurative language kwa sababu sisi ni wanafunzi wa literature. Kuua nyoka ni kufukuza William Ruto kwa kura. Kuua mayai ni kufukuza wafuasi wake wote kwa kura.
Use of hired goons to disrupt political meetings, demonstrations and public events has also become the order of the day as political activity begins to intensify ahead of the 2027 general elections. President William Ruto last week directed security agencies to take firm action against goons and other criminal elements, saying the country must be protected from violence, lawlessness and destruction of property.
Every sector of our society, the business leaders, religious leaders, political leaders, have all agreed that having lawlessness, goons and all these other characters, criminals, should be stopped.
Brian Amoai, K24.
Thank you, Brian, right there. Now, in foreign news, international tensions are mounting as President Donald J. Trump warns Iran of strong response following an alleged missile attack on U.S. forces. Russia charges Telegram founder Pavel Durov with facilitating terrorism over alleged misuse of the messaging platform, and OpenAI reveals an autonomous AI agent carried out cyber attacks beyond Hugging Face. Here are the details in foreign wrap.
U.S. President Donald Trump has pledged to hit Iran hard after the U.S. military said it intercepted multiple ballistic missiles launched towards American forces and the Middle East. His comments came hours after joint U.S.-Saudi strikes targeted Iran-backed militias across 7 Iraqi provinces, killing at least 20 fighters and wounding 32. Washington said the strikes responded to attacks on U.S. forces and Saudi oil facilities and were coordinated with Iraqi officials. Iraqi Prime Minister Ali al-Zaidi postponed a planned visit to Riyadh, while Iraqi political leaders and the Popular Mobilization Forces condemned the attacks as a dangerous escalation. Meanwhile, Russia has charged Telegram founder Pavel Durov with facilitating terrorism, alleging the messaging platform was used by Ukrainian intelligence services to recruit operatives and coordinate sabotage and terrorist attacks inside Russia. The Federal Security Service, FSB, accused Telegram of failing to remove channels, chats and bots linked to Ukraine and has issued an international arrest warrant for the Russian-born entrepreneur. Telegram responded on X with an image of Durov raising his middle finger, while Durov has accused Russian authorities of fabricating reasons to restrict access to the platform. Durov, who lives abroad and holds French and UAE citizenship, left Russia in 2014 after refusing to censor opposition groups. France is separately investigating Telegram's moderation practices. Elsewhere, OpenAI has revealed a cyber attack carried out by one of its autonomous AI agents went beyond Hugging Face, affecting 4 other publicly available online services after the AI discovered exposed account credentials. The AI, which was being tested on a hacking challenge, independently searched for ways to achieve its goal and launched attacks without direct human control.
This is not good if you have AI models that are, breaching the containment you set for them and then going off and doing things. And
Hugging Face said the AI worked at superhuman speed of methods at once, though it also made unusual mistakes such as repeating actions and generating incorrect commands. The incident is being viewed as a major milestone in artificial intelligence, demonstrating both the rapid advancement of autonomous AI capabilities and the urgent need for stronger cybersecurity systems to keep pace with increasingly capable AI agents.
Business Pulse, brought to you by
Let's have a look at some business this evening. Now, Energy and Mineral Development Minister Dr. Monica Musenero has apologized to Ugandans over the persistent power outages that have disrupted businesses and households following the transition of electricity distribution from Umeme to the Uganda Electricity Distribution Company Limited, or UEDCL. Addressing journalists in Kampala, Musenero attributed the outages to the rehabilitation of aging power infrastructure, replacement of old lines, illegal electricity connections, and vandalism, particularly in Mukono, Bombo, Kamuri, and Masaka. She assured the public that grid stabilization efforts will be completed by August 8, while UEDCL pledged to improve service delivery and crack down on corruption within its operations.
And the entire family to say that we acknowledge that power cuts like this cause inconvenience, not just inconvenience, they cause losses, especially to businesses, and they disrupt our plans. So before these current power interruptions came, actually, we made attempts to communicate to the public. UEDCL issued a number of alerts and notifications for power outages over substantial areas. There are appearances on TV and in newspapers. However, the response that we have received, especially me as the leader of the sector, shows that the communication was not sufficient, and many households, many businesses, many people were caught off guard. And the population was taken largely unaware. And I want to say, on behalf of the sector and on behalf of government, to say that we are sorry about that. We apologize for that. It seems our communication was not sufficient to reach you. And we are praying that today you will hear us, and we work together moving forward. We are with you, we are with the population, and we are hearing you. The third reason why your power will go off now is when we are doing routine maintenance. Ladies and gentlemen, electricity infrastructure, like any other, it requires servicing and maintenance. And as you well know, we cannot work on these lines when the power is on. So we will be, from time to time, as we maintain the lines, switching off periodically. This will be taken care of, and through prior communication to alert you. I wish I could say that we will not switch off.
Now let's jump into some sport. From the streets of the ghetto to the graduation stage, Ugandan kickboxing icon Golola Moses has proved that dreams with commitments come to pass, and there is no age limit to success.
At 50 years old, Golola graduated with a certificate in leadership and management from Apex International University, proving that education and sports can go hand in hand while breaking the long-held stereotype that boxers do not study.
It will help me to guide me, because leadership and management it has opened a door, and a very big door and opportunity to my life as Golola Moses.
Growing up in a humble family, Golola always dreamed of excelling both in the classroom and in the ring. However, financial hardship forced him to prioritize his sporting career.
Those who say that we sportsmen, we don't study, no, it was a challenge of money. And as I'm saying that Golola Moses, I'm not giving up. I'm continuing studying, because the more I study, the more I'll come to know and I understand more better than I am today.
As a dream has become a reality, the newly crowned graduate says the knowledge he has acquired will help him become a better leader and mentor.
Nze omuntu eyali alese ebyokusoma kati ate nenziramu mu byokusoma era njagala okugamba abawagizi bange nti bannange nazzeeyo okusoma kinsobozese okuguluminga abaana bano nga ninamu ku magezi. Buli bw'oba tosomye ofiirwa ebintu bingi nnyo, ebiseera ebisinga ne wootuuka okwogera otawulirizibwa bulungi kubanga tosobola kubeera nga oli organized bulungi.
Leaders at Apex International University applauded Golola's courage and commitment, describing him as a role model whose journey should inspire more sports personalities to invest in education alongside their athletic careers.
I'm glad to see people of the caliber of Mr. Golola Moses of Uganda coming back for studies.
Mr. Golola Moses of Uganda coming back to study, it's one of the examples to show the world that really, even if you have left school some time back, at Apex International University, we can welcome you, we nurture you, we prepare you, we educate you, and you achieve your dream.
Golola's story is a reminder that determination, perseverance, and a willingness to keep learning can turn even the oldest dreams into reality.
A stronger start here from...
Well, a big congratulations there, not just on the boxing ring, but also in terms of education. Now, let's have a look at some of the outages that are going to be happening according, of course, to UEDCL. There's a planned shutdown, exactly what the minister was talking about earlier, that there's a transmission system improvement project that is currently underway and it is in its final stages. And therefore, some areas are going to be affected between July 30th and August 8th, 2026. So if you are in areas like Namugona, if you're in areas like the National Housing, Lugala, as well as some of these areas that you can see over there, quite a few of them, you will have a power outage between 7 a.m. and 6 p.m. And this is upon completion. The Kampala Metropolitan Transition System Improvement Project will significantly enhance the reliability and stability of power. So definitely look out for your area. You could be affected by that particular power outage. Let's take a quick break.
Before the headlines, there's the quiet work of confidence. The faces you trust are styled by the hands we trust. Because beauty isn't just seen, it's felt. Alaya Hair and Beauty, the choice behind the spotlight. Redefining beauty, one face at a time.
Hey, hey, travelers! Are you a family gearing up for that big vacation, a hustler working abroad coming home, or your squad chasing sunsets and passport stamps? It's time you lock in. Say goodbye to long airport queues, shocking roaming bills, and the stress of hunting for local SIM cards, because now you can travel like a local. Stay connected in over 180 countries. Just scan, tap, and boom! Instant data the moment you reach your destination. Get your Rogue Travel eSIM today at travel.roguetelcom.co.ug. Contact us on 020-5000123.
Looking for a vacation of a lifetime? Cross the equator and discover Pineapple Bay Resort. Enjoy exceptional life's luxuries. Spend quality time with family, friends, or even that special someone. Get in touch with nature with our range of outdoor activities. The calming tranquility of water, breathtaking views, moving memories around campfires. It's all here. Plus, a club experience like no other at Pineapple Bay Clubhouse. It's a whole vibe. You can hire any of our 3 VIP cruise boats for groups of 10, 14, or 25 people. Or you can cruise out with swag on a luxury yacht for 12 people. Our premium boats are all safety compliant. Make your next vacay an all-round experience at Pineapple Bay, located on Bulago Island, right in the midst of Lake Victoria. Talk to us today.
Billions are invested, promises are made, projects are launched. But what happens after the ribbon is cut? Are public fans delivering results? Are communities seeing the impact? Every Sunday, NBS Television follows the money, audits the promises, and examines the projects shaping Uganda. With facts, evidence, and voices from the ground. Fixing Uganda, auditing progress, demanding accountability. Every Sunday, only on NBS Television.
All right, it's been quite a night to bring you all the top stories happening today. Quite dramatic, I should say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very.
It's been
Oh my goodness.
From court to the UN to what's happening in Kenya to
Even the AI, cybersecurity and all that stuff. It's a lot going on in the world.
It is a lot going on.
But that's been tonight. What about tomorrow morning? Of course, the PSST of the Ministry of Finance will be here. Ramadan Gobi. Building a $500 billion economy. Is Uganda on track? On the morning breeze at 8 a.m. on NBS TV.
I'm looking forward to having that conversation. I'll be joining him with that particular interview, so look forward to that.
Okay.
That's a fantastic one.
You've passed your things on.
Ate ku Sajuka Television wajja kubaawo ndowooza okuyozaayoza n'okwebaza Katonda olw'amatikkira ag'omulundi ogwasatu mu esatu Ssaabasajja Kabaka Ronald Mwenda Mutebi. Ebyo bya ku lunaku olwokutaano ng'ennaku z'omwezi 31 omwezi ogwo baguyita batya mu Luganda ogwa July. Ojja kubuuza Sembatya.
Oba gwe Museenene oba
Museenene taba November.
Simanyi.
Niyo gezezaako.
Gezezaako gwe mmanyi gwokka.
Museenene ozirya? Good night.
Deep dive up next.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Good evening. My name is Dalton Kawesa. The Uganda Police Force sits at the center of Uganda's justice and security architecture. It is the first responder to crime, the face of election security, the lead investigator in criminal cases, and increasingly, the institution citizens judge whether they feel safe or not. Yet alongside the recommendation for dismantling organized criminal gangs and expansion of community policing, the force is under intense scrutiny from the Exodus Sacco court ruling, allegations of excessive force during yesterday's LC1 elections, persistent road carnage, and concern that weak investigations continue to undermine prosecution. Tonight, we ask, is Uganda police winning the fight against crime while losing confidence in some sectors of the public? Joining us is police spokesperson, ACP Rusoki Chituma. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Dalton.
Yes.
Thank you for hosting me today.
It's been a while since I had this kind of conversation with you.
Sure.
Let's just dive in this process. I'll be asking some of the things that continue to be very pertinent in yesterday's election. And one of the things that is being asked is about the use of fire yesterday. We saw in different districts, police actually fired live bullets to disperse crowd. Under what operation circumstances does this kind of behavior meet the legal threshold for use of firearms?
Dalton, yeah, that's a very complex question, though. But I will give a general picture around the use of firearms or the application of force in the enforcement of laws and orders. First and foremost is we must first demystify the thinking that a firearm is people should first know that a firearm is a lawful instrument, a tool, a weapon carried by members of the armed forces. That is one. Two, of course, there are regulations that guide its application and use. It is used in accordance with the measure of threat or its appreciation. First and foremost, if it has to be used, the circumstances must be warranting, and it should be used in line with the extent of the threat, but it can be used.
Okay.
That is one of the things which at least must be well distinct. Now, when we are dealing with a threat, let's say, to life, for instance, a police officer armed can use a firearm against a person who poses imminent danger on life, either the life of that police officer or the life of another person or the life of people. So, in other words, it can be used. There are also circumstances where somebody may be applied a firearm on because he poses danger, which is assumed to that in the event that that amount of force is not applied, the consequences of which are extremely dire. But on most occasions, in very operational situations, we assess situations. You have even seen incidents where you find, for example, somebody even is threatening with a firearm, but they use other methods to neutralize a situation. Sometimes they can siege a person. You have seen situations where you find a person carrying a firearm goes errand, and they simply siege him. There are times when they are shot at. So internationally, the use of force, and particularly the application of lethal force, is acceptable, but it is only acceptable within given limits. Now let's go directly to
the circumstances of yesterday.
Now those ones, one, they are those, like for example, those of yesterday, I may not have a particular one.
For instance, in Chireka,
for me, I know
one person has been shot, has been injured out of a gunshot, but many a valve of bullets will have to be shot in the air to disperse the crowd. So that's the question.
The incident I can confidently comment about is the incident which has happened in Buwenge. Now, like the one of Buwenge, nonetheless, we shall still come out vehemently after a thorough investigation.
Yes.
But the reports I received from the territorial commanders and the briefing I got, there was an attempt to disarm a police officer. Now, when you attempt to disarm, surely, by any imagination, we assume that when you land onto that firearm, you'll precisely use it to cause as much havoc as it can cause, which is utterly fatal. Now, but I know somebody may ask, where was public order equipment? Yes, but you need also to know the scope of our task in this election. We are dealing with 70,000 villages or polling stations. You cannot, and remember, public order equipment is used in formations. Now, you can't have 70,000 formations. So in very practical terms, there are situations which really cannot be explained by
operation.
That, you know what, why didn't you use tear gas? You need to understand our operational limit.
Let's also try preliminary. What is the situation? Do we have, how many fatalities do we have? How many have been contained? Preliminary investigation, as of course we know that next week you will be giving us more details about this.
What I can give is just a generic picture. First and foremost is, so far the reports I've been reading, which we are coming in bits. Several parts of the country registered peaceful elections. People went in there, understood each other, went for a competition, of course amidst a lot of excitement, but came out without violence. Now, when you compare the reports of violence vis-a-vis, like we said earlier, elections were carried out in 70,000 plus villages.
Police stations, yes.
Or polling stations, whatever. Now, at least the incidents so far that are trickling in are not as many. They are not half. They are not even a quarter. They are not even a sizable fraction. They are altercations and they differ in magnitude. If you look at the fatalities, I may not have all, but I know that in Buwenge, that's in Jinja, we registered. And that one I told you, it arose from, I think, one of the contestants came with goons, tried to disrupt the process. He first moved away. The allegations are that he boycotted, then came back with goons, and then disrupted the process, in which there was it's alleged, there was an attempt to disarm an officer. There was an incident in Mpiji. Now in Mpiji, here, fellows intersected each other, and moreover in the night, 1 a.m. And I think that one resulted also in a fatality because they fought, and one ended up losing a life. There have been some boxing each other, assaults, reminiscent and typical of charged elections. But on a large scale, we need to give also people credit. And Ndugu Dalton, so many areas are reporting a peaceful outcome of these elections.
Okay, thank you very much on that, at least giving us a picture, the preliminary picture of what happened during the elections. But also they are concerned, many Ugandans get this feeling that the elections are overtly militarized. And the question is, how do you strike a balance between protecting the voters in the process and intimidating the very people you're supposed to protect?
You see, there is a contradiction speaks for itself in that. On one side, you can hear there are people beating each other. On the other side, of course, there are those voices saying you have militarized. Militarization, I guess they are meaning, one, we show a lot of overt presence. domination. But whatever we do it in the interest of peace. Every single troop we deploy is deployed particularly to do what?
To maintain order.
To maintain order. 2, we only respond to threats. Because there are so many areas where we deploy and you find the people are not complaining. So the militarization needs to be well explained. If it is about physical presence, I don't see any problem about our physical presence.
Okay. Did police adequately prepare for this unique electoral model that is highly emotional and it's about lining up?
We did prepare together with other security agencies under our framework of the interagency, our interagency framework. The only thing, of course, we want people to acknowledge is the complexity of the exercise. 1, its scope. The exercise had a wide scope. I've earlier mentioned, you are talking about 70,000 plus villages. 2, the tense nature of the exercise, the competition. This is an election which has of recent grown. People have picked interest. We had never seen LOCs who buy ambulances. So the stakes are higher. So in other words, the second issue is that the stakes are now higher. And everything I am talking about, whether the scope, whether the intensity, they have a bearing on the tranquility of the election, and consequently have a bearing on the chain reaction in the entire security trail.
In a nutshell, as we go for a break, picking lessons from the LC1 election, how will it shape future deployment, command direction, and decision?
Now, this election certainly, of course, will have a bearing. 1, it is going to speak louder in the voice we have been echoing around the sub-county policing model. Yeah, you must have been following the Inspector General of Police that we are bringing the services of policing to the sub-county, giving it strength. You imagine if our dream of the sub-county policing model in all the sub-counties of the country, we had realized the dream of having 18 police officers with the right anti-crime infrastructure. We have all the motorcycles we need and all that. We are building it. So these elections certainly speak to the need to have that dream realized.
All right. Thank you very much. You've heard from Afande Rusoki, and indeed there are different aspects that they are picking from this. Was it guaranteed the fatality that we've had? He has tried to explain the circumstance of the village election that we just witnessed. We'll return shortly.
The parent is Tuliahewa Dixon. And the child is Tuliahewa Esther.
Kambera gwete kwa mchisha ngo ishe watu yahewa Esther wahangura school fees ngene na hateja shana amashemero kwa gonka MTN momo eberewo mbeni nyegasta igana kaga ni 5 sta munana 0 hash kushashuro mwana school fees tokoma nyo muchisheri zagwije wanje ninga nchaka ngwasa kuzo wawe mwebare munonga.
The Miss Uganda 2026 journey to the crown is calling.
Are you confident, intelligent, ambitious, and ready to represent the Pearl of Africa? Register now. Log on to MissUganda.org. Celebrating 15 years of true Ugandan beauty. Follow the search on StarTimes Makula Chika starting 31st of July every Friday to Sunday at 8 p.m. Sponsored by partner sponsors V&A Sherry, Vaseline, U-Home, 7 Days International, Evervest Malt, and the lead sponsor, Opain Uganda. Alcohol is not for sale to persons under the age of 18. Please drink responsibly.
If whiskey could talk, Johnny Walker Black Label would sing. With notes that only come with 12 years in a barrel. Sweet, smooth toffee, rich fruit, and a touch of smoke. Tastes as good as it sounds.
Festival ya King Saha. King Saha fusen songa. King Saha fusen King Saha. Katana lumisiza kololo. Mutonde ke kololo festival. Gakumina nyanga sinko me piramidi mukaga. Yonebe kololo air strip. Hokinge mtwale bidi. Yepe mitwale tano. Emeze mkande musatu. Walwoine yobutano. King Saha beko wale. On Yuka TV, NBS TV, NBS Music, Yuka Tunes, Capital FM Uganda, the Big Farmer.
Why pay for someone else's repairs? Say goodbye to hidden costs and hello to peace of mind of a brand new start. Discover the Suzuki range of unmatched, fuel-efficient, and reliable options. From the iconic Jimny to the new Across Hybrid. Find the perfect blend of style and world-class efficiency. Upgrade today and enjoy 1 year of free fuel and comprehensive insurance, plus 2 years of free service and a 3-year warranty. Trade in your current car or choose financing to start driving as you pay installments. Don't wait. Visit the Suzuki showroom today or call 0800-211-033 to get started.
August 2026 is here! And Yada for Life presents Mujatu Sinze 2026 Nsima Edition on Saturday 29th August 2026 at Imperial Royal Hotel with a lineup of heavenly voices and ministers. Are you grateful to God for what He has done and accomplished in your life? Do you have a reason to ultimately thank God for? Get your deluxe ticket for 30K, gold for 50K, platinum for 100K, and the table at 2 million. Doors open at 4 p.m. Buy your ticket at Unique Uniforms Uganda House and at House of Rest, former Fido Dido. For bookings and reservations, call 0760-595-316 or 0708-766-536. Mujatu Sinze 2026 Nsima Edition and proudly sponsored by Yuka Tunes, Afro Mobile, and Yuka TV and NBS Music.
Welcome back. The Deep Dive is here. My name is Dalton Kawesa. Thank you for being part of this very interesting program. I know we'll get feedback from you from all our social handles. Yes, he has explained about the elections that we just held as a country, and definitely the full report will come. At least has given us a picture of what is happening. Let's engage the game. It will be unforgiving. What has been on the lips of Ugandans? The road carnage. Afande, road carnage kills more Ugandans than any violent crime annually. At what point should we look at it a national security concern more than just a traffic problem?
Thank you, Dalton, once again. Now, there's something really I want to make a little more clear. If you securitize road carnage, you'll be making a mistake, because it speaks beyond simply. Of course, yes, depending on the English, of course, it's a safety matter, and when people die in such a number, it directly speaks to their safety.
Yes,
and it becomes a challenge. But you need to first understand the causes. Actually, you need to approach this matter from
the cause,
from the direction of the cause. Causes, it's not one. You need to look at the environmental design. How are the roads designed? Are the roads playing a role in saving these accidents? Are they neutral? Or are they playing a very big role? Because once you do not identify those parameters, you will be using the wrong medicine to treat the disease. Look at, of course, I will come to enforcement last. Let's look at the behavioral aspects. Have you looked at our explanations every time there is an accident? You realize that the behavioral aspects play a very big role. At all times, you will find the driver was speeding. At all times, you will find at some point there was a driver who was drunk. There was a driver who was impatient. You get it? Yes, somebody will ask, but they are traffic officers. How many are you going to drive? I mean, are you going to deploy to detect an overspeeding driver? That's why you will never find a driver causing an accident at a checkpoint. You know why? Because when he reaches in the proximity of a checkpoint, he now behaves exactly the way he should. The moment he gets out of sight, he resorts to
recklessness.
Recklessness, which we do not now at that material time, as the enforcers, have control over. Then, of course, yes, we can now come to things like enforcement. Now there, we also need to draw a torch into ourselves. We may have the checkpoints, yes, but we also, generally, because this is now government, we really need to look into things like ensuring roadworthiness of vehicles. And I remember that exercise which was supposed to take off, where you find that all vehicles go for mandatory inspection, so that through that inspection process, they are detected. But if you concentrate on simply deployment, you will deploy traffic officers, but you will still be registering these accidents.
So road safety, you see, the frustration of Ugandans is that road safety has always been, like you have just said, misfit of traffic and behavior. And the question is, can't we make it a national security emergency such that we fix it?
I get where you're coming from. But I'm saying that the securitization of the matter.
What makes it a threat?
This is a matter that needs to be approached from several areas of, we need several approaches. We need to approach it from, there are factors that, there is economics in it, there is regulation, but not necessarily from the security sector. You need to look at it very holistically. You need to look at it sociologically. We need to have discipline within ourselves as individuals. We need sensitization of communities. Then we also need the civic competence. I have always spoken, not once, that you find a bus, even with very educated persons in there, and the fellow is riding them at a very horrific speed, and nobody is bothered. Then when they get a problem, is when you realize, hey, in that bus, there was even a police officer. In that bus, there was a prosecutor. In that bus, there was this. So the whole idea is that we all need to come up together. Yes, you may say that somebody needs to take the lead. But I know we have very many stakeholders on this. And we need to go back to what I have said. We need to check. We need to have these vehicles checked of their roadworthiness. Now, we are now talking about only vehicles. Let's talk about the motorcycles. The motorcycles need to be really checked in a number of aspects. But even the road designs and the road infrastructure does not favor them. You are always driving on these roads. The roads don't favor a cyclist. Actually, it's of recent that now roads are favoring pedestrians. Initially, pedestrians used to share very closely roads with the motorists. You need to borrow a leaf. I always ask, for those people who have, at least to some extent, addressed this problem, how have they done it differently? You'll find that the road designs are different. You get it? Yes, the regulations. Now, regulation is two-way. One, in terms of enforcement, we need to really get in deep and enforce. But on the other side, we also need to reconsider punishment. In other words, the magnitude. If somebody is going to walk away with a ticket of 50,000 shillings, he's most likely going to come back and commit a similar offense.
How about also we extrapolate that punishment that you're talking about, that for every accident that we get, and there is in charge of traffic, he has deployed on that road, they have not actually reprimanded or stopped these motorists and ends up into a fatality, they also get penalized.
It will depend, and you are correct. I don't want to totally disagree with you, but it should depend on the nature of accident. You may find it was an accident out of overspeeding. That's different. But if it was an accident where investigations later find out that the vehicle, by any chance, somebody could tell that this vehicle is not roadworthy, then there, surely action needs to be taken. That vehicle probably was in the hands of somebody who lacked qualifications. Although, of course, it is also relative. Let me give you a very practical example. Traffic officers may not ordinarily stop every vehicle. You see, let's be very realistic, because I know people out there who are watching us really need to agree with me on this. Is it true that a traffic officer at a checkpoint must stop every vehicle? They sometimes sample.
That's
because
true.
In practical terms, it may not be very possible.
There's no time.
They will sample. They make observations. They draw. And you see, it's within that discretion that sometimes they land onto somebody worth charging or taking action against or not.
This is the big problem, Afande Rusoke, that police is too reactive as opposed to, they are reactionary as opposed to intelligence-led. And this has caused problems. For instance, there are cameras. Someone doesn't just start to speed. There are symptoms you would see from one point, from Seta, Mukono, Mabira, there are cameras. How come it is reluctant, the force?
The use of that infrastructure is something, you remember, we had brought it on board, but I hope you realize that we are currently under some freeze as we await
because it was monetary revenue based as opposed to preventive. But let's just come about.
But Dalton, no, nonetheless, because the ultimate is that the punishment will be monetary.
That's true.
But the question is, what was it trying to address? It was trying to make hard tackles on people who transgress the law.
No, it was disastrous, we will agree, because you can't charge someone. Entebbe Road, they had put 50 kilometers per hour, Entebbe Road, and imagine that, and a very huge penalty. So you would see that they hadn't thought through about this. But it doesn't carry away the issue here, the substance of it, that largely the blame is on police for not leading, having intelligence-led rather than being reactionary. I want to pick your mind on that.
Yeah, but take note that we are very cognizant that there is need of use of technological infrastructure in the fight against road carnage and also misconduct on our roads. But we know that once this issue is settled, the issue of regulation, once it is settled, and then we are given clear instructions, it will come and we shall apply it. Because I can't disagree with you. The truth is that technology plays an important role. Secondly, it even needs to be improved. In other countries, it is not only that NPR you are seeing, the number plate recognition camera. No, there are even others put in places where motorists least expect them. Because one of the challenges I know we experience, or we would experience, people tend to reduce speed
towards the camera.
Just like the same way they do towards traffic checkpoints. Then immediately they leave that specific area which is under monitoring. They do the exact
opposite. If we know the causes, why haven't fatalities drastically reduced?
I would then have to repeat what I told you.
We know the causes.
The issue
Police has identified them. Why haven't we moved?
Now, I've given you, for example, the issue of road designs, road infrastructure. How do you expect police to solve that one? I've talked about behavioral issues. How is police going to behave? To change the behavior of a motorist. We do the talking. At least nobody can doubt us that we are always having constant engagements with the border riders. We're having constant engagements with the drivers, taxis, all of these.
Okay. Before we go to this point, because I'm told my producer says we are time up on this, is that on these digital number plates, it is said that it's not visual when a car leaves, so you cannot easily recognize it, the number plate. Is it something you put to the people, the company, and internal affairs about these digital number plates? They are white.
They are not visible to the people.
To traffic officers, we've had complaints because originally the behind ones were yellow for visibility. This one are white. Several police traffic officers were spoken to. They have highlighted that challenge. You in leadership of police, is it something you guys thought about?
Of course, me in person as the spokes, I may not have come across it, but if that is the feedback, we would certainly pick interest in it.
Let's take a break. When we return, we shall definitely be delving into more of the details about policing as we conclude. Stay here.
The world is going digital, and creativity is no longer just a passion, it's a pathway. Next Creator is building dignified job opportunities for young people by turning creativity into real careers. It's about more than just content. It's about learning digital skills that lead to sustainable income, branding yourself with confidence, understanding influence and the digital economy. Next Creator equips young creators with the tools they need to grow, adapt, and thrive in a fast-changing world. If you want to turn your ideas into opportunities, if you want to make creativity work for you, this is where you start. Next Creator, your skills, your future, your opportunity.
Better study tips. Scammers often pose as friends or family to gain your trust. Always verify requests for money or personal data, even if they seem urgent. A quick call to the person or company claiming to contact you can save you from falling victim to this deceit. In partnership with Uganda Communications Commission and NBS.
My name is Apio Joseph.
olw'okwagala okugatta omutino ku music owaffe ow'obuwangwa naddala kadongo kamu n'okumugulira akatale ak'omulembe aka digito Airtel Uganda ne Uganda Communications Commission bakutuusaako atakula bakunyooma gold is gold bakabikabi abagikuba nga 3 mu July ku Sheraton Gardens wano mu Kampala. Freddy Sebata, Dani Mugula, Matia Ruyima, Miss Sarah Sagamwenge, Kakumirizi, William Mukabya, Masias Warukaga, Freddy Sebare, Gerard Kiwewa, Jigiri, Kasiwa Kapo, Harriet Sanyu, Nabitaka, Betty Nabuya, Aisha Nachito, Bonamu, atakula bakunyoma okwinga shinje mtwalo 10 vyepe mtwala biyate meza ya milioni 3. Gula tiketi yo okuba ku Airtel Money ku CBS FM ku Papa Sport ku Jot Kala Solutions paka last machinye na ku Sheraton Hotel wanyene Sheraton Gardens asatu mu July tutandika sawe mu yakawungezi yanyene kati ngono berawa wagidwa UCC Rospom Mavet Afro Mobile Nesanyuka TV ne
Airtel
atolo de bitegekebwa baluna promotions. Character consecutusako Khalifa Agalaga Nanyini Ngato Nanyini Kaviri Nanyini Nyimba Chameleon wa generation eno Munasanga festival Muchibira Nkobe Piramide Mukaga Muaga Sikube Piramide Mukaga Elweza Forest Resort Jango Boot Edition Jango Yamba Denga Tuya Aganaga Eno festival ya Fefena Kwingene mitwale biri Yepi mitwale tano Walwe meze ya kakade Kukatane milioni 3 Ne yaba bende milioni 5 abantu kwingena kubitano abasegendwe mutwalo aberekedwa kabayimbi bona niba comedians munasanga festival muchibira Forest Resort Elweza Luboaga City.
Too many ads? Expensive subscription? You deserve better. An artist, thousands of plays, but nothing to show for it. This ends now. Introducing Yugatunes, the new home of your favorite music on Afro Mobile. Listeners, stream your favorite songs ad-free at no cost. Artists, earn from every stream. Withdraw your royalties anytime from as low as 20,000 Uganda shillings. This is music that pays off. This is music that belongs to you. Yugatunes, your sound, your stage, your reward.
Billions are invested, promises are made, projects are launched. But what happens after the ribbon is cut? Are public fans delivering results? Are communities seeing the impact? Every Sunday, NBS Television follows the money, audits the promises, and examines the projects shaping Uganda with facts, evidence, and voices from the ground. Fixing Uganda. Auditing progress, demanding accountability. Every Sunday, only on NBS Television.
Welcome back, and this is the Deep Dive. My name is Dalton Kawesa. It's Afande Rostoki has given us some good time to understand how the institution is operating, and we are not forgiving him on the issue of governance. The judgment of Exodus, for the viewers, Exodus, this is the circle for police. And in the judgment, police The aristocracies of this world were forcing police officers to save, and when it came to withdrawing, they would recommend them to go to the bank. There is a preliminary report that there's many senior officers have enriched themselves through the circles at the expense of the policeman or policewoman down there. The judgment, let's come to the judgment. The judgment points at the governance issue for all police-affiliated projects. Why work for the people and again fail them because they were supposed to benefit? But we have talked to them. And even judgment says you would send them again to private commercial banks.
Unless, Ndugu Dalton, unless I have it upside down. One of the things that has been at the realm of police management, encouraging officers, has been to tap into their circle, that is the Exodus, to obtain credit. And the reason, because it gives, like all circles, they give better rates, interest rates, compared to commercial banks. And far better than these other lending institutions. They are those small ones.
Yes.
Which have very, very
high rates.
Very unconducive
money lenders.
Akin to money lenders. Now, there was a judgment. I need to read it a little more to get its gist. But one thing I know is that what I've been hearing people making conversations around, that there was a forced conscription. What I know is that...
I can offer information.
Please do.
The judgment nullified and ordered police not to conscript police officers into their circle. And those that are there to access easily their money. And said it abused Article 28 of freedom of association. That is it.
Now, first and foremost, if there is a court judgment, police is a law-abiding body. It will try to see how to engineer and find a way that Exodus Circle complies with that lawful judgment.
Okay. Beyond the legal issues.
Let me, that's one. Two, also you need to appreciate that police is not in very direct control of the Exodus Circle, because the circle is managed under the laws that govern savings and credit organizations. But what we do is we give it guidance, because we have a stake. Our own forces are in there, and to a tune of 40,000. You get it? Now, conscription. If the law has said don't be conscripted in there, nobody is going to hold you there. That is one. Two, but the only difference is if you want to get out, yes, but you may find you have obligations. Probably you have a loan. You went in there, picked money, a judgment has come is saying get out, you are free to get out, but that does not...
actually do away with your commitment.
You remain with the commitment. Like even if you are in any other institution. Three, I don't want to essentially speak on so many details in there, but what I know is that officers have been accessing loans. Yes, there are those who claim the threshold is small, but at some point I think we shall come out and ask the circle to come and give a comprehensive statement.
As you prepare that, the spirit of where the circle was made was very good. But also, evidently, it is the senior officers that have benefited from this. Leadership, couldn't you look at this and you clear it before it would go to court?
First and foremost is I know that there have been a number of internal conversations. But you see, the right to the recourse to court is purely an individual right. If a given individual chose out of all options to go to court, one, you do not have the right to prevent him. It is purely on him. But what I know is that that circle has come from very far with a number of reforms that have been put in place. It has improved in leaps and bounds. Like I've said, at some appropriate time, I think we shall ask the circle management.
Maybe something slightly as we get off that circle.
Please do.
Are there lessons from accountability, transparency, and for all things allied to the force that you've picked out of that judicial review?
Like I've said, I've not done...
Acquainted yourself.
Exactly.
Okay, let's come to organized crime. Organized crime have led to hundreds of arrests for the past years, but critics argue that arrests are often celebrated more often than convictions. How do you measure success?
We measure success in the fight against crime, or in this particular case, organized crime, by one, the reduction in the crime rate. At least the most official statistics so far, and authenticated statistics so far we have in the country, is the annual crime report of 2025, which by record, there was a decline by 20.2, 10.2, 10%.
Yes.
At least that's on the record. Of recent years, there has been cries that the number of crimes experienced, especially in the greater Kampala metropolitan area. There are also people who were talking about crime in rural areas, especially in respect to agricultural produce, both animals and crops. At least this is what I can say. One, urban crime. There have been intensive operations to really bring down these statistics. We first went for armed robberies, and a number of firearms were recovered. If you track back in the last 6 to 7 months, there has been very, very good and tangible success. Those guns you used to hear in Mukono, in Matuga, a number of them were recovered, and at least police, we had an opportunity to mention it. There's a gun which we found had appeared on more than 22 crime scenes. We arrested 4 suspects. The attacks of mobile money outlets, at least the statistics have gone. Of recent now, we went for these opportunistic crimes by our young brothers on the streets. You saw. Phones and phones were recovered. We didn't only end there. We readjusted our formula and now went into the arcades and ended up really disorganizing those rackets.
The supply chain.
The supply chain. Recently, the Inspector General of Police summoned all territorial commanders. I think it was Friday last week, where he met all RPCs, all DPCs, all crime intelligence officers, and the relevant directors in that chain of command. And the basic discussion was around crime. But equally, one of the things which I know is going to yield big is now the strategic approach to policing using the sub-county policing model. How? That if you concentrate police in these very villages, in these areas, where you go to Kasangati and you find that where you used to have 2 police officers scattered in several areas, now you can concentrate at least 12. Where you can't make 18, at least you have 12. That's a very big boost in the fight against crime.
Where are you going to get the budget?
No, it is about reorganization and repurposing assets. What we did...
Are you saying that you're going to reduce, for instance, there are MPs that have fleet, tool cars, police cars, and about 30 police escorts?
Let me tell you precisely what we are doing. First and foremost, we have got some budget funding to particularly address that sub-county policing model. As I speak now, I think we are already 200 model sub-county police stations complete, and many of them under construction. Like I've said, you reorganize the troop formations. Where you had 2 policemen, 3. I know you must have come across those police posts which used to have 2 policemen.
Yeah, you have
dismantle them,
yes.
Get them concentrated in a sub-county, give them the right equipment, tool them, give them equipment, give them communication. Now you'll find that their capacity to respond to crime. Crime does not happen everywhere, every time. But the challenge is you have 2 men deployed at a police post.
With 1 firearm.
With 1 firearm. On a good day, one is sick. The other one tells you, no, me, I had gone to check on
my parents.
I had taken my wife to hospital. Now, have a concentration that has genuine capability to respond to crime. Now, the numbers will find us.
Okay.
The numbers, at least even for now as we speak, you remember, 9,000 of them recently were passed out, and 90% of all of them, of all that lot,
yes, intake,
was concentrated into the sub-county
So I will not be forgiven. How do you explain, not the president, not the vice president, yes, but individuals from cabinet to some MPs, each assigned 2 police vehicles and over 30 police personnel? Is this country that insecure?
But isn't your figure slightly exaggerated? I think, let me just be, but let me put it in the right context. One, you are talking about VIP protection. VIP protection, first and foremost, they are those individuals who have that entitlement. Now, those, let's first put them out. 2, they are individuals who have peculiar threats. Those threats are subjected to a threat assessment.
Afande Rusoke, leaders, MDs of MDAs have threats. I can mention 5 MDAs that have policemen on 2 patrol vehicles. Is this country, I repeat, is this country that insecure?
Now, I may not discuss the internal details of the security threat levels of various individuals, especially on television. But what I would like to tell you is that various individuals in this country have different levels of threats, and on the basis of a threat assessment, we at times find it necessary to reinforce those individuals so that they work without feeling insecure. 2, when we are talking about this countrywide population of security in their required environments, the deployments we make in these VIPs is not that very significant to be the biggest impediment. No. By the way, the real threat to our numbers is different. One is we have, of course, attrition. Because we grow old. We move out. You get it? 2, our numbers also are affected by the country's growing scope. You wake up one day, Matuga, which used to be essentially some agricultural space. You find
highly residential.
It is now becoming highly residential. Then secondly, crime is not only about numbers. Crime sometimes is also about sophistication. That instead of looking at, we need more policemen. No, sometimes you may find actually you need to re-engineer technology. You need to change technology. You need the mechanisms of monitoring crime, detecting it, that is more sophisticated than you are doing today. For instance, do you see the improvement in our forensic services? It has had a very significant impact in how we unpack and handle crime. Do you see the expansion of our K9 unit?
Yes.
The expansion of the K9 unit, me who has been in those districts down there, a dog. I know you may not be minding much, but the people I was policing in Chianga down there in Mitoma had very, for them, that dog does wonders. You really see crime totally
go down.
Drop.
All right. I find it though it's not convincing about the numbers, because when you look at, let's say, average, one individual, VVIA protection, a member of MDA in this country, those government departments, as we conclude, has about average of 7. If multiply it with the number of MDS that we have and their deputies, that is a number that you need at the sub-county. And you can't disregard it, Afande.
But also we can't disregard their security as well.
All right, as we conclude finally, very finally, we have seen cases collapse in court, cases investigated by police, with all the advance in forensic and name it. Where is the missing link? The DPP says poor investigation by police. Police says we did our part. Where is the missing link? Why aren't we securing more convictions?
But the performance in terms of conviction rate is improving.
Okay.
I think there I will slightly disagree with you. But I would like to say that every case in the investigation chain needs to be always looked at on its own merits. It will always depend.
Okay.
Now, the starting point is us at the investigation point. Sometimes you may find a scene was tampered with. You get it? There are so many things which interrupt or affect the quality of or success in court. You may find that the scene was tampered with. You may find that the witness was not was not collaborative. There are even times when you find witnesses. Me, at least I've seen those cases where you find a witness is hostile. You get it? There are times where you find that in an investigation, you find that you get a challenge with the sophistication of the sometimes you find the criminal is very smart, that he left no
traces,
no trail. So there are so many things that can affect the quality of the case.
All right.
Exactly. But I know, yes, some people may talk about how was the exhibit handled, storage, all those things we are really trying to improve day and night.
Finally, your last take, especially when we come from an election, the election that we had, where we saw a lot of chaos. I know by Monday we would have got more than maybe 10 fatalities. People have lost their lives just because of election. Your final word as we wrap it up.
My parting shot on elections is that people need to appreciate that this democratic process is not a do or die. It is you are clamoring to represent people, but you should not put in situations that even claim lives of people.
Okay.
2, that there is a tomorrow even after elections. You live on the same villages. Some of you are relatives. You really need to maintain a condition where you are going to live harmoniously even after elections.
Afande Rosoke, policing today is no longer about how many patrols that have been mounted, how many people have been deployed, but the citizens continue to judge the force through peaceful elections, through justice being delivered, through being safe on the roads, and more importantly, that they feel safe regardless of their status in society, despite us talking about those that have bigger threats. Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
You're welcome.
Well, that's it. My name is Dalton Kawesa. Thank you for being part of this edition of The Deep Dive. Stay here.
Thanks for tuning in. Your feedback is highly valuable. Scan the QR code to share your thoughts.
NBS. Always.
The new financial year kicks off. If you are a manufacturer, your tax obligations are shifting. If you are a consumer buying Ugandan-made goods from this cafeteria, your wallet is about to feel the impact. Tonight, we break down the numbers. Will operating a factory get easier, and will commercial banks finally lower interest rates to give local producers breathing room? This is Made in Uganda. I am Isabella.
The manufacturing sector has continued to grow. In this last 3 financial years, it has been averaging about 5.5, 5.6% growth. And also in this year, as we close, we are seeing also growth around 5.6%. So indeed, the manufacturing sector continues to grow. Allow me also to report that indeed, not only are we growing financially, we have seen an increase in value-added exports. We have touched 21% of all exports are value-added. What are we seeing? We are seeing also that, yes, the taxes are increasing. The percentage of taxes are increasing. And we do hope and pray that that is okay as the numbers keep growing. And as production keeps growing up, naturally the tax contribution will grow up. We are seeing that the contribution to the economy is roughly where it was last year. That is at 24.8%. We are seeing, as I said, a tax contribution of about 30%. To show you that we are continuing to drive the economy, we are still consuming anywhere between 68 to 70% of all electricity consumed in the country. We can still brag and say at subsector level, we are still the largest contributor to NSSF. We can proudly say also that, yeah, indeed, we are the biggest value chain multiplier in the country. So as long as we can keep on investing in manufacturing, and for us in manufacturing, we mean the whole entire manufacturing, from agro-processing all the way to mineral beneficiation. Anything in that realm that uses those two as a background is in manufacturing, is in industry. And we are saying as long as the manufacturing sector keeps growing, this economy will keep growing. We are seeing at sector level. At sector level, the services sector is growing. You can probably say a little bit better than the others. Agriculture is growing. With the projection actually for next year is that as more and more money goes in, PDM money goes into agriculture. Others think just a good drying and a good a good value addition ready for roasting is good enough. That is in the coffee sector. In other sectors like tea, tea is still, much as we are tea producers and tea drinkers, we are seeing a few companies going to the premium levels, which is good. Tea has gone through a very tough year with all the issues they had. So they're just recovering. One area that we do think Uganda should really focus, albeit it needs a lot of resources, is the area of textiles. Textile and apparels, meaning the whole textile and apparel, meaning the whole from top to bottom of a human being, including the leather aspects. If we could focus and have value addition at leather level, and we are trying to do that, but if we can add a lot of investment at leather level, we add a lot of investment at garmenting level, really producing, going into design and production of clothes, we might just hit the jackpot. Why? We have the raw materials of cotton. Yes, we have some imported, we can import some polyester to that and other materials. But what we need now is the industries are coming up to produce the cloth. What we need is now en masse production of finished clothes. En masse. We need, think about it. You have Europe, you have America. These people are not producing any clothes. The clothes are either being produced in Thailand, in China. Can we join the market? Is it not possible for us to produce 5 million t-shirts per month for the US? If we did that, most of our brothers and sisters would get off the street. So I do think in the area of textiles, in the area of leather, clothing the human being,